Stay tuned for the following special presentation from KOFO 1220 and 103.7 FM. KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show on 103.7 FM, 1220, and online at KOFO.com. We invite you to join us live at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa for food and drink specials during the show, as we talk OU Braves and Lady Braves basketball with head coaches Aaron Siebenthal and Bruce Tate. Pizza Time Hoop Talk is brought to you by Ottawa Family Physicians, Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Pizza Time, and Ottawa University. Now, with this edition of Pizza Time Hoop Talk, here's KOFO's David Potter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pizza Time Hoop Talk Show. I'm your host, David Potter, bringing the show to you live, as always, from Ottawa's finest pizza shop, Pizza Time, here at 2nd and Main in downtown Ottawa. We're switching things up a little bit this week. Normally, we'd be broadcasting games right now, and we would have had the show last night, but for the next couple of weeks, we have Wednesday night games in the KCAC, and that means we've switched the show over to Thursday. However, with all the high schools all over in tournament play right now, the coaches are out on the recruiting trail, so as a change of pace, we have some of the star players from Braves basketball with us here tonight. First up are three names that you know very well if you follow OU basketball. We've got seniors Maddie Stewart, Kaylee Williams, and Ashley Romig. And I want to thank you all for joining me on the show and stepping up when Coach Tate couldn't be here.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Not a problem. And so, you know, obviously a college coach's job is never done, and you know what he's out there doing right now is on the recruiting trail, trying to find some new players because he's losing three seniors in you guys, all obviously starters, and at least a couple of you, Ashley and Maddie, have been started for a few years now, right? So what's the team dynamic like right now with you three as the seniors? You've got a couple of sophomores and juniors, but really it's mostly just seniors and freshmen. Is that a little harder to bridge that gap when you have that many new players coming in trying to learn the system?
It is, but we've done a lot of team bonding, and our trip to Vegas really helped us come together and learn how each other played, and we are getting a lot better of communicating and working together on the court. So.
Right, and so you know, I mentioned that the high schools are in tournament play right now, and you know, two of you are from local schools, and then Kaylee, you're from California, correct? Mm-hmm. So it might be a little harder to follow the old high school from all the way out here, but do you stay with your old high school teams and keep up on how they're doing and maintaining contact with the players and coaches there?
Yeah, I do. Our team's currently in the Lyon County League over at Emporia at White Auditorium. And this year my high school team's doing pretty well. They're senior heavy, just like we are at Ottawa. And it's going to be an interesting year to see how they do overall.
Yeah, I definitely follow Burlington basketball. My dad coached for a long time. I follow a little bit more of the middle school basketball now that he coaches there. They had a really good season. I know that Burlington played last night and they won, and they'll be playing Friday night at 6:30, I think. And I hope to make it to that game because this is my favorite time of year. They have a nice hospitality room.
And Kaylee, are you able to stay with the old high school from all the way out here?
I kept up with them for a couple years after I graduated, and then I just I check in every now and then, see how they're doing. Okay. Actually, recently, one of the coaches there who is alumni, he asked me to give like a little write-up on what it means to be a Royal, which is our mascot there. So I did that recently, so that was kind of cool.
What's your mascot?
A Royal.
What's a Royal?
What does the logo look like?
Oh, it's a lion.
Oh, interesting.
So like the Kansas City Royals then, sort of. Sort of, not really. All right. So, being from California, before you, and nothing against Ottawa or Kansas or anything like that, but before you signed on to play here, had you ever been here in winter before?
No.
No?
No.
So the coaching staff just kind of sprung that on you. Oh, by the way, it gets to be about 10 degrees here while you're playing basketball.
My main concern here was the tornadoes.
Okay.
That's the first thing I asked Coach Tate was, am I going to be okay with, do you guys get tornadoes a lot? He was like, no.
Yeah, she would text me when we'd have a storm. Oh my gosh, have you seen a tornado warning yet? Is anything going to happen?
Yeah, and nothing's blown away on campus yet since you've been here? All right, good.
Thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah.
I always wonder that when I see players from Arizona and California and Nevada, and I just think, did no one tell them what the weather was like here during the winter? All right, so we'll move on to college basketball. And since our last episode of Hoop Talk, you've actually played 3 games. Prior to that was the tough loss to McPherson, but since then you've reeled off 3 straight double-digit wins. How's the team feeling about the way you've been playing over the last week or so here?
I think we've been playing pretty well. We're moving the ball. We're knocking down open shots. And that's just the key to winning, along with defense. I feel like we've really locked down on a few teams and really shown what we can do, but I know there's more. I mean, there's always room for improvement, and we're really excited to see where we'll go.
All right. And, I mentioned that, that's coming off that tough McPherson loss. And what was the team's reaction, then what was Coach Tate's reaction coming out of that, with the way you've rebounded since that game, really playing some of your best basketball here over the last week? Did he try and kind of light a fire under the team, get you guys motivated, or was it more of a, okay, let's just regroup and get back to doing what we do and doing it well?
I would say we kind of motivated ourselves after that game. We really came together and recognized our weaknesses, our strengths, and focused more on how we can improve to become better and start winning games that we should be winning, and even winning games that maybe we shouldn't be winning, but we want to win because
we have more heart.
Yeah, we have more heart.
Do you feel like there are any games, and you said that you shouldn't be winning, but do you feel like there are any games going in where you just feel like it's going to be an uphill battle? Because, even against Tabor and Friends, you guys had leads with just a few minutes to go. You weren't able to get the wins, but, you were able to play right there with the top teams in the conference.
I feel like we just need to learn how to be able to close out a game, how to finish it. We kind of lose focus sometimes. There's always one quarter that we're a little weaker in, and we need to overcome that hump and close them out. We definitely are right there on Tabor and Friends' backside, and we're ready to see them again. We get to play Friends at home here in a few weeks, and we do have to travel to Tabor, but we're preparing for them. We're ready to see them again after the conference championship last year.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to those games against Tabor and Friends, and looking forward to an opportunity to get back?
Those are definitely personal games to all 3 of us. Those are all goals in our careers, is to get back at them for 3 years of competing.
After last year winning against Friends and Oklahoma Westland after losing, we are just as hungry this year. It's our senior year, and we're just ready to come out on top and ready to put in the work to do so.
And kind of building on that, your next game up here on Saturday is going to be against Kansas Wesleyan. Of course, that trip to Salina, things kind of got away in the second half. I think they hit 7 of their first 9 threes in the second half or something like that. They just came out on fire, and obviously that was the toughest result of the conference season so far. Is there a little extra fire going into the game against K-Dub on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. I feel like K-Dub is one of our rivals. It always has been. We always battle when we're playing that team. And I'm really excited because we get them on our home court. And last game, we did not show up. We were not playing together. And now I think we're on the right track, and it's going to be a different outcome.
Yeah, you said it all.
Now, you said that you think of K-Dub as a rival, and that seems to be across multiple sports. I've heard it from both the soccer teams. I think it is with the men's team. What is it about K-Dub? Because they're out in Salina, they're not nearby. It's not like a close rivalry or anything. What is it about K-Dub that really kind of creates that rivalry between OU and them?
They always seem to bring their best game when they play Ottawa, and they're always very scrappy and hit the floor hard. They always are competing and never are behind or out of the game, ever.
I agree. Is
that your way of saying they play dirty, or?
Sometimes they might.
All right. So just, Maddie, this is more specifically for you, but just here in the last week and a half or so, you put in 32 points against St. Mary a couple weeks ago, and then chipped in 27 against Southwestern last week, and obviously you're one of the program's all-time leading scorers, so putting points on the board isn't anything new for you, but you've really gone off in a couple of games here recently. Is that anything that you're doing differently, or is it just a matter of getting in the groove and seeing shots fall from?
Well, I think for me, it's always when you get that first shot out of the way, it makes things a lot easier. The basket looks a little bigger. But I just think to myself before every game, it's my senior year. I want to do the best I can because these are the last few games I'm going to get to do it. So I just go in with that outlook and hope for the best.
Right. And then, Kaylee, you almost broke the, I believe, the single-game scoring record again. That same game against St. Mary, you had 35 points. What was going right for you in that game? What really set you up for that kind of a performance?
I just really think I was just feeling it. I was just in the game, to be honest. I drove to the basket. I did everything that we practice in practice. I did everything that I am supposed to do, and it just turned out good. My teammates, they did their job. I did my job. It all panned out the way it was supposed to pan out.
And we've seen that you've been a three-point threat, and then you can also get to the basket. You're one of the team's best at getting from the perimeter into the lane. Is there a particular way that you prefer to play, or is it really just a matter of what the defense is giving you on a particular possession?
I think it depends on what the defense is doing. That's what I'm looking at. I do prefer to drive to the basket just because I'm quick and I can get there. But if they're going to give me an open shot, I'm going to take it.
And then, Ashley, you are the conference leader in blocks this year, and since coming back from the holiday break, you've had 10 blocks in 4 games, and I was just looking up the stats today, and right now you've already matched last year's block total for the entire season. Nice. So is that anything that is just shot blocking? Is that something that comes naturally to you, or is that a skill you've had to kind of develop as you've gone through your career at OU?
Well, in high school, I really enjoyed shot blocking, and I came from a small school to where people weren't quite as tall as they are in college. So after 4 years of college basketball, I finally have learned how to block college player shots. So it's finally coming around to where I can read the ball coming off their hands, and it's getting a lot easier for me.
What is the main difference, obviously, other than just having the height advantage in high school and not as much in college? What do you have to adjust and do differently to be as proficient at it at this level?
In college, a lot of the guards that I end up blocking have a floating shot, or they shoot straight up and over me, so it's harder. Whereas in high school, they would just shoot right into my arms. So it's harder to read, and you have to be a little bit closer to them in college so that you can actually reach it. But I try to let it leave their hands before I block it so that the refs don't call fouls, but that doesn't always work out.
All right, well, we will go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll be back with more of the Hoop Talk here at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
Pizza Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa has been Ottawa's pizza joint since 1985. Enjoy their lunch buffet Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. Dine in or carry out your order. Call 242-TIME. That's 242-8463. It's always time for pizza at Pizza Time. At Ottawa Family Physicians, their physicians and nurse practitioner provide a variety of comprehensive health care services, including family medicine, OBGYN, pediatric, and geriatric care. Doctors Ransom, Spratt, Gollier, Sinclair, Ogilvy, Nichols, and Simmons offer their services 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and Saturdays from 8:30 to noon. For your health care needs, call Ottawa Family Physicians at 785-242-1620.
Hurry to Macy's Super Saturday Sale, going on now with 50 to 75% savings. Plus, save an extra 25 or 15% with your Macy's card, or an extra 20 or 15% with your pass. Or save on incredible specials, like men's packable jackets, 60% off. Diamond Promise rings, 70% off. Juniors active gear, 50% off. It's Macy's Super Saturday Sale, now through Sunday. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply. Extra savings also exclude specials.
And welcome back to Pizza Time. We've got more hoop talk coming here for you. And as always, if you want to submit any questions, you can call the station. You can also submit questions on Facebook or on Twitter if you have anything you'd like to ask the players. We've also got we'll have Alex Hasty and Cameron Lindsay coming in for the second half of the show from the men's team. But for right now, we're still joined by Maddie Stewart, Kaylee Williams, and Ashley Romig, and been talking about the season so far and kind of looking at what's ahead. We talked a little about K-Dub on Saturday, but after that you've got Oklahoma Wesleyan coming in to town for, that'll be your third straight home game. And have you been looking forward to this 3-game homestand, or since everyone but York really in the conference is within a few hours, or are the road trips really not a big deal to you guys?
Oh, they're always a big deal. We have struggled on the road for years. I mean, since we've been here, we've had a little bit of a battle with that. Home games are always good. You seem to shoot better, play better. You got your home crowd on. Yeah, you feel better. It's just a way different environment when you get to play at home. So we're really excited for the next few games that we get to play here in Ottawa.
I just love playing at home. You have all the fans. It's your home. I love it.
Do you feel like it's easier to get kind of into a rhythm playing at home?
Yeah, I mean, because it's your court. You're used to the court, you're used to the rims, the basket. It's all familiar.
Right. And so this was the first trip to York for everybody this year, right?
Yeah.
So how, with the 5-hour bus drive up there, did that take you out? I mean, obviously you guys were able to win the game pretty easily in the end, but did that kind of take you out at all of your normal preparation, I guess, whatever your...
Well, we had to make a little bit of a pit stop, so
right.
that took a little bit longer. It was nice to get out of the bus, but by the time we got there, we were all a little sore and tired, and so it took us longer to wake up. Yeah, and we were late, so we didn't hit the court as early as we normally do. But it was good to finally, about the second quarter, we woke up and we really took control of the game and moved on. So I'm glad that we don't have to make that bus ride anymore.
And then the game on Monday at Southwestern, that was the first time I'd been in that gym. Is that the most unique gym in the KCAC, would you say?
Well, it's pretty unique because of its name, the Stewart Fieldhouse.
Right.
But yeah, I've always liked the looks of that gym. It's old and it's kind of just says basketball.
Reminds me of like a little dungeon.
Right. That was the first thing I thought, was that it feels like a castle or a dungeon or something like that. But
even though it is a little strange, we always seem, the last 4 years Maddie and I have played there, we always seem to come out and give them a run for their money, and it was nice to finally beat them on their home floor.
Yeah, especially, I don't think we beat them there since 2004.
Really?
I think that's what it said on one of the articles. And we gave them a real good run for their money our freshman year. We took it into overtime, I think. And it was just nice to finally get a win there because we haven't for so long.
And that was maybe the most into it I've heard a crowd get on as far as road games go, just as far as yelling during you guys shooting free throws and giving suggestions to the referees. It seems like the crowd gets pretty well into it down there.
Yeah, them and Sterling, they always bring a crowd that's not very nice, but I usually tune it out, and everybody tells me what they say after the game, and then I get salty, but I usually can't hear it during the game unless they're right in my ear.
Yeah, Kaylee seemed to shoot her free throws pretty well with them yelling at her, and she didn't faze her at all.
I mean, at this point, you've been playing basketball for so long, you learn to just tune it out.
So does it even register that people from the stands are yelling at you, or does it just kind of flow by?
It's like I hear a voice, but I don't know what they're saying because I'm just like, I'm going to shoot the shot, and I don't know what you're saying, and I don't care what you're saying, but I'm going to make it.
It doesn't really bug me. Sometimes I smile at things they say because obviously if they're complaining as much as they are, then if they would just look at the scoreboard, it'd probably tell them their own stories. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just to wrap things up, since you're all seniors and you're moving on from OU after the season's over, Maddie, I understand you already have a job lined up to become a teacher. Is that right?
I sure do. I'm going to be at Emporia High School next fall, and I'll be halftime aquatics, halftime PE. So I'm really excited to move there this summer.
Right. And Kaylee and Ashley, do you have anything lined up, or are you just finishing school and then you'll worry about it then?
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to finish. I have another semester with my internship and our senior core stuff we do at Ottawa for the seniors. And then after that, we'll see where life takes me.
And if you can say where you're interning or what type of business is it?
Well, I'm a human services major, so I'm going to be interning at communities and schools as a case study worker.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
I have a job lined up out of Lawrence, Kansas for a company called Trevant. It's a consulting business, and I worked for them this summer. I'm helping build a platform on Salesforce to sell to businesses. So I'm excited to start that job. I'm not sure where I'm going to live yet, or I haven't figured out all the smallest details, but I do plan on working for that company.
All right. So you've all got plans for after you graduate, which means you're well ahead of where I was when I was a senior in college. So congratulations to all of you. That's all the time we've got for tonight. I appreciate all of you coming down here and talking. And we'll have a Wednesday game again next week, so I don't know what Coach Tate's plans are, but maybe we'll. I don't like the looks on your faces when I suggest that you might have to be here again next week, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, we'll take another break, and then we'll be back with a couple members of the men's team. You're listening to Hoop Talk here on KOFO.
Lamb Roberts Funeral Director Eric Price.
The reason that I would call us a superior funeral home is caring just comes naturally to all of the staff members. It's really not anything that I've ever done. It's what my staff has done and actually taught me how to do is to lead with your heart. When you meet with the family, know that the care that you provide is the reason that they've come in.
Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook. Compassionate care when you need it most.
Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa has been Ottawa's pizza joint since 1985. Enjoy their lunch buffet Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. Dine in or carry out your order. Call 242-TIME. That's 242-8463. It's always time for pizza at Pizza Time.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
Premiering Saturday on Lifetime.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. You, me, everything.
A Lifetime original movie.
I could fly higher than
Susie, I'm really scared. We are not going to give up.
Idina Menzel, Nia Long.
you are the wind beneath my wings.
I'll be there for however long you need.
Beaches premieres Saturday at 8/7 Central on Lifetime.
Hello and welcome back to Pizza Time here in downtown Ottawa. And once again, I'm David Potter bringing you a special edition of Hoop Talk with the coaches hitting the road for recruiting. We have some players here with us in their place. You just heard from Maddie Stewart, Kaylee Williams, and Ashley Romig in the last segment. Now from the men's team, we've got two seniors in Cameron Lindsay and Alex Hasty. And how are you doing tonight, guys?
Doing pretty good.
Yep. Good. So, and I asked the girls this as well, but I'll start here with you too. So, starting with you, Alex, you're not only local, you're really local. You went to OHS, and have you been keeping up with the team this year? You know, they're off to a great start.
I've talked to their high school coach a couple times, but I haven't had a chance to get to any games. I've been busy with my own schedule, and but I plan on going to a few games this year. But I know they have a pretty good team, pretty solid chance.
Right. And now, Cam, you're from a little further up the road in Olathe, right?
Yes, sir.
And do you stay in touch with the high school coaches or anyone from the high school at all?
Actually, my coach, Coach Carr, I think he retired.
Okay.
So I'm actually not too familiar with who is coaching there now, but I know some of my teammates' little brothers have gone there, and so kind of keep in touch that way, but not necessarily with the actual coach.
All right. Well, we'll get to this season right for now. And last week's show was the night before the York game, and Coach Siebenthal was here. He was talking about your record in KCAC play. At that point, it was 5-5. And I think his exact words were that you've beaten everyone below you, but lost to everyone above you in the standings in the games against York and then Southwestern Bethany. He wanted to see the team go out and get wins from the top half of the conference and try and get into a position to host at least one KCAC tournament game. And was that also a challenge that he had made to the team, that it felt like it was time to go out and win some of the tougher games on the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone on our team was a little disappointed with our first go-around through the conference. We lost a tough one at home against Southwestern and at Bethany. Those two games we knew we could have won, and we avenged those two losses early in this go-around the conference. So I think we're off to the right start to correct what went wrong the first half.
Right, and that's what I was going to bring up is that things kind of fell off at York, but you hung right in there, but it ultimately got away from you in the second half. But these last two games, I know just having watched the team this year, I've seen as much fight and as much emotion from the team as I have at any point in the year. And did anything happen after the York game that kind of came to flip on a switch, or was there something about being down on the road and coming back at Southwestern that really maybe kind of, do you feel like things have turned a corner a little bit at this point?
Yeah, I do. I think necessarily we just kind of looked in the mirror and realized what type of team we were, and we realized we weren't going to beat we weren't going to beat the upper teams with individual talent. We knew that we needed to play together and share the ball and be unselfish, and I think the last two games we really did that, and that's where our emotion came from and our thought came from, and that's why I think we got those two crucial W's.
All right, and now you've got a couple of more home games coming up. Is that big for you guys to have a few home games in a row with so many road games in the first half of the schedule, or did the road trips bother you guys much?
Honestly, personally, I love playing at home. I mean, it makes a big difference, even though, with the exception of York, most teams are around 2 to 3 hours away. But just traveling to a different environment, it's always good to get some games at home, especially at this point in the season, the second half of the season where we really need wins. It's important to be playing at home at this time, so I'm happy to be staying in Ottawa to play.
All right. And you talked about playing in different environments, and just to rewind a little bit here. When you're down in Southwestern, that's about as different an environment as there is in the conference. They bring out kind of a different crowd, and the gym kind of has a castle kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be a bit of a strange environment. So what was going through the team's heads when there were 9 minutes left? You guys were down by 16 points right before that. You guys really ignited that comeback. What was the mindset of the team at that point? Did you feel like that was a turning point where you had to turn it on, or was it just kind of a moment where things started to come together on the court?
I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, with 9 minutes left, I think we were still down double digits, some sort, and we went to a press, and then all of a sudden it kind of clicked with everyone. Like, we just got some steals, we got a bunch of 3-pointers, and I honestly think that's like the turning point of the season was that first half we didn't play well. In the second half, we came in really focused, and we couldn't really chip away at the lead. That last 9 minutes was really special for us. I mean, we got together, played as a team. Everyone was hitting shots, and we came out of a tough place to play with the win, which is really good for us.
And then Bethany last night, the script was a little bit different. You guys were able to jump out to an 11-point lead a couple of times, and then as you guys were trying to put the game away, they just kept coming up with I don't remember the guy's name. I think it was number 10 for Bethany, but he just kept popping in threes just left and right, and they kept fighting their way back. And if you can just kind of describe the difference between, in terms of mindset, fighting to come back like you had to on the road at Southwestern versus trying to protect that lead at home against another tough team just a couple of days later.
Yeah, well, at Bethany, Coach had just talked to us before the game and how he did not want us to start slow this game at all. He knew that they were kind of in the same situation we were. They've had some tough losses lately, and they knew that if they got their heads up early, it'd be tough for us to pull the win out. So he definitely was on us about starting the game off fast, making sure we do what we were supposed to do with our assignments, and just playing the game the right way, which is team ball. So I think that's what allowed us to keep the lead and ultimately lead to us winning the game.
And was that the fastest-paced game you guys have played this year? It seemed like it had to at least be up there.
Yeah, it was up there. There's a lot of teams that like to push the pace against us, But I think definitely with Hollis Mitchell as our point guard, he knows how to control and allows us to play our game. And that's what allows us to be good.
And would you rather play a team that wants to speed it up and play fast, or play a team like, I guess McPherson's as good an example, a team that likes to slow things down and play more in the half court?
Well, that's kind of what Coach talks to us about. He definitely wants us to play our game, So to us, it doesn't really matter if we play a fast-paced team, a team that wants to grind it out. Either way, we're trying to do what we do best and trying to win the game.
And what are the keys to making sure that you're the team that's able to kind of dictate the pace and make sure that it's not the other team, making you have to play one style or another?
For us, I think our season kind of comes down to shot selection. Kind of the shots that we take is going to lead out to other teams' run-outs. So if we move the ball and play really good offense like we've shown the last 2 games, it's hard for teams to really get those great run-outs on us. So when we take good shots and move the ball and share with each other, we usually get high percentage shots, and those high percentage shots go in. So it allows us to set our defense up, so we kind of play our pace that way.
Right. All right, well, we are going to go ahead and take our first break of the men's segment, then we'll be back with more Hoop Talk here from Pizza Time. You're listening to KOFO.
Family Physicians, their physicians and nurse practitioner provide a variety of comprehensive healthcare services, including family medicine, OBGYN, pediatric, and geriatric care. Doctors Ransom, Spratt, Gollier, Sinclair, Ogilvy, Nichols, and Simmons offer their services 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and Saturdays from 8:30 to noon. For your healthcare needs, call Ottawa Family Physicians at 785-242-1620. Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa has been Ottawa's pizza joint since 1985. Enjoy their lunch buffet Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. Dine in or carry out your order. Call 242-TIME. That's 242-8463. It's always time for pizza at Pizza Time.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. But even today, there's still one path to success that only requires a dream and about $10. Because if your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. Right now at Vistaprint, you can get 500 customized high-quality business cards for only $9.99. That's $9.99, and your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. Just go to Vistaprint.com. Use promo code 6565 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com. Promo code 6565.
And welcome back to Pizza Time here in downtown Ottawa. You've still got about 20 minutes if you'd like to come down and join us, get yourself some pizza, and join us as we talk some basketball. We're talking with two seniors from the men's team right now, Alex Hasty and Cam Lindsay, both guards on the men's team. Or I guess, Alex, you're kind of listed as a guard/forward on the roster. Which one do you consider yourself to be more of?
Well, I mean, this year I'm playing more of the forward position, but the past 3 years I played the guard spot. So, I mean, I think I'm just a tough matchup for most forwards in the league because I can be a forward, but I can play as a guard at the same time. So
right. All right. Well, looking ahead, you've got 2 home games coming up here against teams they're below you in the standings right now in K-Dub and then Oklahoma Wesleyan. So you've got a real shot at pushing your record in the KCAC to 9-6 if you're able to win those 2. But do you think about that and think about that number and use that as a motivating factor, or does the team try and take more of a one-day-at-a-time approach where you just focus on winning the game that's in front of you and then worry about the next one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should focus on where anyone's at in the standings right now. Anyone in this team can beat anyone else. I mean, obviously, I think last week McPherson beat York in a close game, or they beat somebody that was pretty high up. But, yeah, we're just taking it one game at a time. We're not sleeping on anyone. I mean, even though we know we're the better team, we have the better record, and we got the better players and a better team, we're taking it one game at a time, making sure we get the important wins at this point in the season, try to move up in the conference.
All right. And we talked a little coming out of the break about how you're playing more of the 4 this season. So a question I wanted to ask you specifically first is, you're coming off a season where you're an all KCAC defender. The team doesn't look to you for a lot of offense, but I would put money on you leading the team in uncontested layups, because at least 2 or 3 times a game, Hollis Mitchell or Jacob Nedig is going to find you underneath the basket with no one around you. So
yeah.
Is that something, just a talent you've developed where you figure out how to kind of sneak in behind the defense, or is that something the coaches run where they draw the defense out and you kind of slip in behind it?
It always just keeps kind of happening. I mean, in the past I've had to kind of create for myself, do a lot more driving and floaters in the lane and stuff like that. But now that I'm playing inside, I've just been and a lot of teams are overlooking me because I don't score very much a game, and I'm more of a defender or rebounder or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just trying to find my spots wherever I can. I mean, when I'm playing with Cam and Titus and Hollis, I mean, a lot of people are in Logan. A lot of people are focused on them as potential scorers, and so I just find a way to sneak into the defense, and Hollis and all them draw the doubles, and I'm just open for a wide open layup. I mean, it just keeps happening. It's nice.
Like clockwork, it seems like at least 2-3 times a game there's Alex Hasty just wide open with no one within 5
not
feet
even
of
contested, just a wide open layup. I think I've shot 5 free throws this whole season, so I'm not shooting contested shots.
Now, how does that differ from your role on your high school team at OHS?
Well, on my high school team, I played with Shimmy Ojale.
Well, that's right.
And I mean, I scored a little bit more in high school, but I mean, I had a guy scoring 37 a game when I was in high school for 4 years. So honestly, my focus throughout my whole career, my basketball career, has not ever been offense. I've been a decent offensive player. I've been consistent and shooting a pretty high percentage, but I've been getting good open shots. But that's why I've been focusing, and especially in college, on defense.
All right. And then, Cam, shifting over to you. You missed some games earlier this season, and then since you've come back, this has really looked like a different team. You guys got off to a rough start this year, but right around the time you came back, you went on that 4-game winning streak back in November and December, and then you guys have put together these big couple of wins back-to-back over Southwestern and Bethany. What do you feel like you add to the team that kind of helps elevate the overall level of the play out there?
My job is just to do whatever the team needs me to do. at that specific time, and just keep the morale of the team up, and just be the fifth-year senior that I am. Just be a captain on and off the court. That's pretty much my role. That's just how I kind of grade myself, not necessarily off points or how many rebounds or assists, just how I'm conducting myself, and if my team's watching me, and hopefully I'm just leading them in the right direction.
Right, and that is something I've noticed that, in tight situations in games, you're a lot of the times the one kind of calling the team together to huddle up before a free throw, things like that. Do you make sure that you put yourself into that position, or is that something you've kind of had to teach yourself to do over the years?
Well, I definitely didn't teach myself. Recently, Draymond Green is one of my favorite players, so that's kind of who I try to play like, and that's who I kind of try to be like on my team. So I just kind of watch him and see how he kind of handles himself, and I like that about him, and how he's a great leader, and how he just talks to his teammates and allow them to get going, and he's very unselfish, and I try to do that as well. So
and that compares, I guess, in terms of the game itself, I can see the comparison, but he's on the court, he's pretty outspoken, and he's gotten in trouble for some few things over the last couple of years.
He's got a lot of heart. You
he does.
Can tell he plays the game with a passion, and nobody can take that away from him. So as far as the game goes, just you have to respect him as a man that plays the game of basketball and shows a lot of heart and passion, and being a leader for his team. And he sets the pace and the tempo. So that's just kind of what I try to do for my team.
Okay. Is that the player you choose? If you had to compare yourself, and just in terms of your game on the court, to any one NBA player, is that who you'd compare yourself to most?
Yeah, I would say. Just because I try to do it all. I try to just do one thing very good each night. If it's not scoring, then it's rebound. If it's not rebound, then it's assist. If it's not assist, then it's defense. I just try to do what the team needs me to do. Same thing with Hasty. Me and him are basically the same. Our jobs is to keep the team together and to just be the same person each night, and that's what the coach expects from me and Hasty. We're seniors, and the other guys look up to us. So, along with Logan, and I think we're doing pretty good so far.
And part of that is coming down to do radio shows when the coaches can't make it, right?
Yes, sir.
Alex, same question to you. If you had to compare yourself to either a college or an NBA player right now, just in terms of your game on the court, who would you choose?
Oh, goodness. Well, my favorite player is Kirk Heinrich, an old KU player. I don't know if he's playing in the NBA this year, if he's gotten picked up by a team, but obviously he's a much better shooter and scorer than I am. But he's always been known in the league. He's never been the most athletic player, never been the biggest player, but he's always been one of the best defenders on the floor. And I don't care about stats at all. I'm just out there to be the best defender I can, keep the other team from scoring. I'll guard the best player. I'm up for whatever the team needs, and I just think I kind of embody some of what Kirk Heinrich's mentality is on the court.
I like that answer. He's a Jayhawk and a Chicago Bull, so
yes,
he checks off both boxes for me. All right, we're going to take one more break, and then we'll be back with the last segment of Hoop Talk here at Pizza Time. You're listening to KOFO.
Family Physicians, their physicians and nurse practitioner provide a variety of comprehensive healthcare services, including family medicine, OBGYN, pediatric, and geriatric care. Doctors Ransom, Spratt, Gollier, Sinclair, Ogilvy, Nichols, and Simmons offer their services 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and Saturdays from 8:30 to noon. For your healthcare needs, call Ottawa Family Physicians at 785-242-1620.
Lamb Roberts Funeral Director Eric Price.
I think that there are a lot of misconceptions about cremation services for America today. A lot of people think that it's only a good alternative if money is an issue. Cremation, in the end, is a disposition. It's not a service. The funeral service that we're going to provide, whether you're traditional services or cremation services, is going to be essentially the same.
Lamb Roberts Funeral Home. Compassionate care when you need it most.
Getting a great night's sleep is easier and more affordable than you might think. You don't need a new expensive mattress or sleeping pills. You just need to change your sheets. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. What makes Boll & Branch sheets different is that they're meticulously crafted from pure 100% organic cotton. And because we only sell online, we've cut out all the expensive retail markups. Plus, if you go to bollandbranch.com today, we'll give you $50 off your first set of sheets when you use promo code DOZE. bollandbranch.com. Spelled B-O-L-L and branch.com. Promo code DOZE.
And welcome back to Hoop Talk here at Pizza Time. We've got about 10 more minutes if you want to come down and join us, eat some pizza, and talk a little OU basketball. Again, we've got seniors Alex Hasty and Cam Lindsay here with us for about 8 or 9 more minutes. And so I mentioned you guys are both seniors, and I asked the seniors from the women's team this as well. Do you have any plans laid out for what to do after you graduate, or are you just focusing on graduating for now, and then you'll worry about your professional life later?
Right now, I'm about to finish up at OU with my business administration and a marketing major, along with a philosophy minor. And I'm thinking that I would like to go to get my master's, get an MBA. And right now, I'm thinking KU might be my best option to achieve my master's degree.
KU is always the best option. I'll just chime in with that. I might be a biased source on that, but Cam, how about you?
Well, I'm going to be graduating with my business administration and a minor in sports administration. I love sports, obviously, and I love kids, so as soon as I graduate, I'm going to try to do some light coaching at the field house in Olathe, Kansas, and then also try to get a job at the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
So, I mean, my perfect job would to be an athletic director one day, but obviously I have to get my master's, so just for the immediate plans of my future, just Boys and Girls Club, working with the youth, trying to give back.
So you mentioned coaching. Is your interest more in the administrative side and working up to AD, or do you have any interest in maybe going into coaching at some level?
Well, that's the thing I'm trying to tackle. I think I want to do a little bit of both. I'm definitely going to try to coach a little bit and try to plan some activities, obviously, with the Boys and Girls Club as well. So just trying to do a little bit of both and find what I'm really good at and what I love to do and try to take that and run with it 100%.
Right. And with you guys both being seniors, obviously your last season here, and just looking at it realistically with Tabor and to a lesser extent York kind of way out ahead of the pack. A regular season KCAC title really probably isn't on the table, but there's still plenty left to play for. What do you guys feel like the team's goals are at this point where you stand right now?
I mean, obviously, we're trying just to put ourselves in the best position to ultimately win the conference tournament and move on to the national tournament and get ourselves a much-needed ring. But yeah, the regular season title is a little bit out of reach for us right now. And so just now it's about going into the second half of the season, making sure we're playing our best ball when it comes to tournament time.
Right. Is that the same for you, Cam?
Yes, sir. I definitely agree with what Alex just said. We definitely just want to take it one game at a time and keep winning, and we want to be playing our best basketball by the time the tournament comes around.
All right, and just to wrap things up here, I've just got kind of a few random questions to get to, and we already touched on one of them. That was the NBA player comparison, but if you had a chance to pick any one game on your schedule before the season starts and you would be able to guarantee a victory for just that one game, no matter what, that's going to be a win, who would you most want to beat, and would you want to do it at home or at their place? Or I guess if you want to look at it a different way, like who do you see as your biggest rival at this point, or who do you want to beat the most right now?
Obviously York and Tabor are at the top, but as far as my career at Ottawa, I think it's always nice if we can beat St. Mary's. Just kind of have a really good rivalry with them. The games are always good. They're heated. And so for me, it feels good to beat St. Mary's.
Alex?
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, St. Mary's got Grant Greenberg, arguably the best player in the nation right now, at least offensively. And but honestly, if I could beat anyone right now, I think we can beat St. Mary's fair and square. But Tabor, I think, is the toughest competition in our conference. I want to beat them at their place in front of a big crowd. I just want to send them that because we play them in a couple weeks now. I mean, if we could beat them going into the conference tournament, we could just get in their heads a little bit, maybe throw them off their game. I think that would be the best thing for us.
And say you're at Tabor and it's a one possession game with one possession left to go, and this Bill Self said something a couple weeks ago that kind of made me think of this question as far as what he wants to see from his team. Would you rather be the team with the ball down one in that situation, or would you rather be the team up one, having to defend Tabor and keep them off the scoreboard for the last 20 seconds?
Honestly, we have a lot of offensive weapons. We have 3 or 4 guys that, not me, but 3 or 4 other guys that could take the last shot and easily make it. I mean, last year we played at Tabor. We lost in a double overtime, and Hollis Mitchell just buzzer beater, just rimmed out just barely, and we lost a heartbreaker early. But honestly, I trust our defense and I trust our offense. I think we would win either scenario, so I'm going to feel equally comfortable with either one.
You brought up Hollis Mitchell there. How far away was that 3 he hit as the shot clock expired yesterday?
I was honestly on the bench at that point, but yeah, when that went up, well, first of all, it almost hit the ceiling. We shot it so freaking high, but yeah, it was a pretty deep 3, and we're just happy he made it. Yeah, and it really got the crowd into it. Really got everyone fired up. So that was a big point in the game.
Yeah, that was. I think that put you guys up by 6 or 7, and then I think a couple possessions later, it wasn't from as far away, but he hit another buzzer beater with the shot clock running down.
Yeah, he had I think 4 threes maybe in the game, and yeah, he was playing really well. He was shooting the ball really well, and it's surprising. Usually, he gets a lot of his buckets from inside or at the free throw line or mid-range, but yeah, he was shooting a 3 really well last game, and that was huge for us.
And Cam, at crunch time, would you rather be defending the other team, trying to keep them off the scoreboard, or would you rather have the ball in your hands looking for the last shot?
Well, for me, I definitely feel more comfortable with the lead. I think our defense is pretty good when we want to play, when we lock in. If we have Tabor on their back, I'm pretty sure that we'll close the deal. So, but obviously, like Hasty said, I'm comfortable either way. I'm confident in our team going forward. But for me, I'd like to get a really good stop and just end the game with the lead.
All right, and just last question, how valuable has Logan Bollinger been here the last week or so? I think he's combined for 62 in these last two games you guys played, and some of those at the free throw line, some touch free throws down the stretch, trying to protect the leads in those games. How much does it mean to the team to have a big guy who can step out, hit threes, and then I think he's a 92% free throw shooter, just kind of does a little everything.
He's amazing. He's nothing less than that. He brings it every game, his attention to detail. And he's a quiet guy, but he speaks loud to us. Mm-hmm. So we follow his lead, and he's great. He's great for us.
Right, well, that wraps things up here from Pizza Time. Again, I want to thank Alex Hasty and Cameron Lindsay from the men's team, and then earlier Maddie Stewart, Kaylee Williams, and Ashley Romig from the women's team. Again, we'll be broadcasting the games. The women play at 3 on Saturday. The men's team plays at 5. They're against Kansas Wesleyan at home at Wilson Fieldhouse. And thank you guys one more time for being here, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.